I hope you enjoy track breakdowns and walkthroughs, because that is what this video is about. But rather than just say this is the bass line or a melody line or harmony line, something like that, I am going to try to give you a bit of an insight into my inspiration, my compositional process. Now, I have no idea how successful or otherwise this is going to be, so bear with me and we'll see how it goes. Over the years, I've had several requests to do track breakdowns, usually of a particular piece of music which I've put up on the channel. And to be honest, I find this very difficult because I don't have a system. I don't automatically put down a 2-bar drum loop and then add a bass line and add some harmony and then a melody. I don't have any particular working formula. So just about every piece I create is slightly different. It has a slightly different workflow. And I really don't know what's going on up here. I'm going to try to explain as best I can in this piece, and this is a breakdown or a walkthrough of the very last piece I had on this channel, which is a dark Deep Space Ambient piece called Extreme, and it's called Extreme because it uses one plugin, and that is Steinberg's Extreme, which is a free plugin. It runs in Hallion or Hallion Sonic, which is a free sample player, again from Steinberg. So if you like anything that you hear here, you can download the Extreme plugin for free and play with it yourself. I've really just scratched the surface because I'm basically using presets, which is possibly rather limiting, but you could do a lot more with it if you want to do a deep dive into it. So I've no idea how successful this is going to be. Let's go over to the Music Machine and find out. So we'll start with Hallion or Hallion Sonic. This is Hallion Sonic. This is totally free from Steinberg. And when you open it, you see the instruments which it supports. I think I've only bought one of these. I think that's the Baltic Shimmers. I'll leave a link to that in the description if you want to check it out. And the other ones were all free or came with Cubase. So if you want some free gear, then you can go to Steinberg and download Hallion or Hallion Sonic free and get some free instruments. I think Robin Vincent of Molten Modular said he doesn't understand Hallion, and I totally agree with him. It is not for me, at least, the most intuitive piece of software. I'm sure it's incredibly powerful once you get to grips with it. However, we're not going to go into that. If you scroll down, click on Extreme, you get a list of the presets. So what's the first thing you do when you get a piece of software? You run through the presets. So let's try that now. So we double click on the preset and the instrument interface opens up. Filling the screen here. So you can see the interface. I'm not going to go into this at all because there are lots of other better videos than this about Extreme. But I'll just run through some of the presets because I wanted to give you an idea of the thought processes, if you like, while I put this together. I didn't actually start with the idea of building a piece entirely from Extreme. What I normally do, my favorite method of composition, is to open up a synth or a sample library, play some sounds and see if any of them suggest something to me. So this is the first preset. Now most of these I believe are monophonic, and you can see what's going on in the middle here, or sort of what's going on. And I'm just holding down one key and it produces an entire soundscape, just one key, and this is one of the really interesting things about it. So let's try another preset. Again, just one key. Now we could almost write a tune with this, which will come in very handy if you want to write tunes. Ooh, focus. I love this sort of sound. Again, just one key, and you can see it cycling through here. There's a few controls you can mess with, of course. Right, okay, so that's a few of the presets. Let's get rid of this and have a look at the project. So this is the entire project. Let's zoom out a little bit. So this is the entire project. It's not very long. So what I did, I played through the presets and I found one which I really liked and which, oh gosh, I guess it spoke to me. So that was this one. So I'll just play a single note. And you can hear there's the little beeps. Now then, this was my starting point, and this sounded to me, it was a bit sonar-ish, as if you were in a ship which was searching for something. I think there are actually some presets which have a bit of a water feel, can't quite remember. But to me, being a big science fiction fan, this suggested floating through space looking for something, and the idea of a wrecked spaceship graveyard came to mind, hence the images on the music video, if you've seen it. So this was my starting point, and you've probably heard people say when you're writing a piece of music, it's nice if you tell a story and take the listener on a journey. So this was my idea, a very simple idea, just floating through a graveyard of wrecked spaceships. So that was the first preset, and I just recorded a single note. It's a B flat. Just have a quick listen. And it's playing two notes. It's sort of the piece. If it's in a key, it's in a B flat minor. I like to add a little bit of melody to the piece. So this was my starting point, and the next thing I did, having got the story idea in mind, was to go through the presets and try to find sounds which I thought would fit with the original sound, or would fit into the idea, the concept of floating through space through a spaceship graveyard. Now, I don't always work in this way. The way I work is it varies from tune to tune, project to project. But I had the idea because there was so much in Extreme. I thought it would be nice to see if I could actually use the presets, the parts in it, to construct an entire piece. Bearing in mind that each preset is virtually a soundscape in its own right. So that's what I did. So I'll just run briefly through the sounds. Again, just holding one note. So these are the presets which I stacked on the tracks. And now I didn't use all of them, as you can see, but I'll just run through them for you. So yes, it's developing even more. So I thought that was quite a nice floaty through space wreck sound. Now that's almost a single tone, so you could almost write a tune with that. I think I might have doubled up on one or two of these. This is another one. So you hold down the key and things just happen inside these sounds. It's a little bit more. See, that sounds spacey to me. It sounds like space sounds. A lot of low. Well, I am hitting a low note here, but some of the pieces are slightly higher. So having got the basic soundscape drone background effect, I've used a couple of presets for that. I wanted sounds which I could sort of write bits of tunes with. Oh, it's a nice vocally sound, playing this higher up. Vocally wobbly. Oh no, yes, I would like this one. This is a rhythmic, it's a drums. Are there drums in here? Maybe yes, maybe no. There's another one. There's drums, for sure. I thought it'd be nice to add a little bit of rhythm and movement to the piece. Just holding down the one key. Awesome stuff. So anyway, that was my palette of sounds, and after that it was basically just a question of putting them together. So let's just go through the process. So the first one to come in is this one. So there's a little bit of a tune coming in there, or different notes certainly. A lot of reverb on that one. I didn't add it, it's in the sound. And the next one is this, which adds a sort of spacey sound. And basically my idea was just to build up the soundscape. None of them overlap too much because they are sort of soundscapes in their own right, so I had to find sounds which would fit with each other. And this section here. Back in. I'll get back to these pieces in a second. So as you can see, it's just a question of finding sounds which I think go well together and building them up and bringing them in, taking them out, and then we're down here with this, a sort of rhythmic drum thing. Just it's sort of it's a bit suspenseful. I think it adds a bit of suspense. And scoot onto this. We'll bring this one in again. We've done that one, and then this in again. We've done that one. So there's not a lot to it. It's really Extreme is doing all the heavy lifting. So let's get back to these things, these little parts which are dotted about. So if you hold it down, you get the soundscape. But you can't play notes with it. And so these are just what I call bits of ear candy, just to fill in parts of the piece. And finishing is, well, there's lots of ways you can finish a piece. You can create an outro or an ending. You can fade out. What I often like to do, don't do it on everything, I sort of like to top and tail a piece if it feels appropriate. This isn't exactly topped and tail, but it ends with the sonar sound at the top here, and a rendition of the little ear candy piece from this preset. So just play the end, the drums drop out. Doody. And the sonar stops, and that ends the piece. So while I was recording that, I realised that there's not an awful lot to it. Essentially, I got a bass sound, a bass sort of soundscape, and then just put other sounds on top of it. That's it. That's the method. That's the process. Not complicated. You just need to use your ears to pick suitable sounds and fit them in suitable places, and just have an awareness of how long a sound can go on before the listener may possibly get bored, and to stick other little bits of sound in between to alleviate the boredom. Ear candy, it's called. So I hope you found that interesting, helpful, mildly entertaining. If you have any questions about anything which I've said or haven't said, leave them in the comments and I will get back to you with hopefully a sensible reply as soon as I can. So again, hope you enjoyed it. Check out the links for other walkthroughs and other videos which I think you might enjoy. As always, thank you so much for watching. There is a subscribe button down there. It is a massive help. I know everybody says this, but it really is a massive help to the channel. If you've enjoyed this content, click the subscribe button, click the big thumb button. That's also a massive help. Thank you so much for doing that. I'll see you again in the next video.